G'day, Ben from Melbourne here. Today we're going to talk about the 5 best punk records from the 2020s. Got this idea from watching Vinyl Richie, which I think was his take on that one that I think a couple of people have done called the greatest records of this century, as in the last 25 years. I liked his idea of doing punk records. He did one for every year of the 2020s. I'm not going to be as arbitrary as that. I'm just picking 5, which I think the best out of these last 5 years. Of course, they're Australian, and of course, they're fucking awesome. A few of these have been shown on a few older Shed Burner videos where there's a bit of sound bites on there and talk a little bit more in detail about each record. Special mentions first must go to these bands that just missed out, who've all released great records in the last 5 years, and that is Stepmother, Rick and the Sickos, Gaffer, Bat Piss, and Bad Dreams. So I implore you to check out those bands as well if you dig your Australian punk. So let's get into it, not in any order except for when they come out. So we're not even going to start at 2020 or 2021. We're going to jump straight to 22 with Melbourne's own Split System. Everything these dudes have been releasing has been awesome. Just quality band. Had to go with the first record, obviously, because blew me socks off when I first heard it. Great stuff. It's got that Australian 70s like garage punk sound to it. You can hear little snippets of like the Saints and all those great bands like that, but they definitely put their own spin on it. Released a ton of great singles as well, and a really strong follow-up. The only thing not strong about it is they just called it Volume 2, so great band, not very imaginative titles. And that's actually the new 7-inch there, which is awesome. Called, what's it called? No Cops in Heaven. Ooh. Punk rock, baby. So that's the first one there. We're going to stick to 2022 with another great Melbourne band, or the rest of Australia could be saying I'm biased, because I am. This is Clamm with their great record, Care, from 2022, which I actually just said, but I just like to reinforce things. This is punk of a different sort. I guess you could call it, it's the more wire influence punk, I suppose, for the want of a non-Australian band, which I think fits it because it's got like synth in there. Like I think it's the second wire records like that, so it's got a more icy cold feel to it, but it fucking rocks. There's still guitars on it, and just tread lightly, all you people who have a fear of the saxophone, because there is a little bit of skronking, but not on everything. But this is an awesome record, which I highly recommend. Actually, the new ones are killer as well. Third record, let's get to 2023, shall we? Couldn't leave this out. Civic, Taking My Force. You know it, you've got it, because I fucking sold them all to you through my channel by showing it. Civic, Where's My Money? Seriously though, they were building up to an absolute shed burning classic. They'd released some great 7-inches and EPs, mini album, and I think it was on Flightless, their first full-length record. All great stuff, worth checking out. This is where it all coalesced together with the help of Rob Younger producing, so of course he's gonna bring it. It's got that classic Australian punk sound for sure. Great guitar shit on here, hooks galore. I've just lost his name. Jim McCullough has that fantastic punk bark that's just perfectly balanced between can sell you some melody, but he's also barking it out. Kind of like Chris Bailey, probably a less soulful Chris Bailey. back in the Saints days. But this is a great record. Really recommend it. They even do a cover of Masters Apprentices. What's the song? Wars or the Hands of Time. Do a great cover of that. Right. Now, let's go to Sydney. This is like high on rotation, and they released a good 7-inch. Was it this year or last year? Can't remember. But this is R.M.F.C. with their record Club Hits. I don't know if I've said what any labels these are, but we'll go with this one and say Anti-Fade. You know it's going to be good if it's Anti-Fade. Yeah, Sydney band with a sort of punk, post-punk, all bedroom produced and played by Buzz Clatworthy. That surely can't be his real name, but he knows what he's doing. Yeah, really cool. Great, like this really raw, unadorned guitar sound. Just and again, like a lot these. I guess what ties these 5 records together is they all have hooks and which stay in your head. It's just not a blur of noise. They're like well put together songs on all of them. Yeah, this is a great record, and it's also one which I think the more you listen to it, the better it gets. Right, last one, which is a really recent one from last year, and it was a Shed Burner, as some of these have been, by Chimers, which are all the way from Wollongong. Not the wonders of Wollongong, the weed, but Chimers. Weed are great, but that's more a stoner rock band. Yeah, garage punk, post-punk thing, just a 2-piece with a huge sound. Both records are good, but I reckon the new one has the edge on it. It's definitely got a 90s punk vibe to me, with the guitar sound and that drum sound and the vocals just a bit buried underneath. But, I dig that kind of thing. Couldn't give a fuck for lyrics. If the lyrics are good, bonus. Anyway, well, I do kind of give a fuck for lyrics. If you're singing about fucking right-wing maniac shit, fuck off! But yeah, this is on Poison City. Let's do a recap, actually, of the record label. So, Chimers on Poison City, R.M.F.C. on Anti-Fade, Civic is on ATO Records, Clamm is on Chapter Music, and Split System is on one of the best new punk labels going around called Legless. Alright, that's my 5 best punk records from the 2020s, all Australian and all fucking awesome, and will kick the ass of all of your punk bands from your countries. Sort of kidding, but not really. See you in the next one.